interview. I'm Maike and today I'm interviewing Paul Tolchinsky. Paul has had more than 40 years experience in consulting to major corporations. In fact, I met Paul last year in Potsdam in Germany in one of his trainings about large-scale interactive processes. So I thought I wanted to interview Paul because I believe he's got some great natural leadership skills that I witnessed, a great sense of humor, and I'd like to ask him 3 questions in relation to leadership. Hi, Paul.
Hello there, Mikey. How are you doing today?
Fine, very excited, and really want to hear some insights from you about leadership. So first of all, let me ask you one thing. What is your main strength as a leader?
You know, I think the biggest thing that the biggest strength of any leader is actually the ability to listen. The ability to listen, right? And I think that's number one. If you're not listening to the system, if you're not listening to your people, if you're talking too much, you're not hearing, right? Then you're not leading. Number one. Number two, from my perspective, great leaders have always been the people who inspire other people. Mm-hmm. Right? They're a good leader, a great leader is an attractor and attracts people. I think I attract people. I'm a good networker, but I'm an attractor. I listen, I inspire. I think what I've always tried to do in life as a leader is leverage energy. I'm always looking for where's the energy? Where's the energy in people? Do they smile? Do they laugh? Do you get their attention? Do you see it in their eyes? And I think as a leader, your ability to leverage energy in a particular direction to move something forward, I think is critical. I think my strength is I come from a place where I believe that the wisdom is in the system. I don't feel like as a leader I have to have the answer. I might have an opinion, but I trust that the wisdom is in the system, and I trust people do the right thing and to guide us along the right path. So I listen, I inspire, I leverage, and I trust the wisdom in the system. I think that's what I bring to it. And as a result of that, I think that's what attracts people to me, are willing to listen and follow as a result.
So another question about impact. What is your big why? Why do you do what you do?
I discovered a long time ago. I thought everybody needs a purpose, right? That's the why. And I think, why do you do what you do? Why do you believe what you believe? I think my leadership why is to create places of work that are interesting, meaningful, and fun. Right? If I can do that as a leader, then they're almost always profitable and productive. And so, I think the why is, my why is creating places of work that people wake up in the morning and they're excited about going to, looking forward to spending a day at, right? As opposed to dreading the moment, dreading the thought. People spend such a significant part of their lives in the context of some work situation where there's leadership, bosses, etc. I think if you don't create a place of work that people look forward to coming to, you've lost all hope, I think. So that's always been my why. It's I always said it's creating places of work that are interesting, meaningful, and fun. That's on my tombstone. This will be my tagline.
Okay. So you're someone who's got so much experience. You've worked all over the world with big corporations and loads of leaders. So when you look at the world today and you connect to our future leaders, like maybe even young leaders, what kind of advice would you want to give them?
I think the challenge is for a leader. We've trained leaders, myself included, to be the people with the answer, right? We're the smartest, we're the brightest, we're the up-and-comers. There's a recent LinkedIn blog about should you hire leaders as people or for their technical skills, right? And I think that, the challenge, I think, is in today's world, it's to never, my advice is if you're in a room where you're the smartest person, leave quickly. Leave quickly. You're in the wrong room, right? I think, it's leaders find people who are smarter than them. Don't have egos where they have to feel like they're the smartest in the room, that they have the answer, that everybody has to look to them. And I think, as a leader, if you find yourself in a situation where everybody thinks you're the smartest person in the room, it's a horrible position to be in as a leader when ownership and commitment only comes from co-creation. So if we don't co-create the answers together, then I think that's the challenge everywhere in the world, because every culture in the world sort of has a different perspective about leading. Paternalism, dictatorship. In the world today, everybody talks about everybody leads in self-management. And so, I think from my point of view, it's sort of, I try never to be the smartest person in the room. And if people think I am, I try to dispel that myth as quickly as possible. And I think that works in every culture, right? People, they respect, the older I get, the grayer I get, the more people think I have the answer because I've been there and done that. But my answer doesn't necessarily equate to the right answer. It's just my point of view. So I think that's the number one thing. It's, if you find yourself the smartest person in the room, get out as fast as you can, and go find people who are smarter than you. So my first advice is, don't be the smartest person in the room. My second piece of advice, I think, is in today's world, people try to simplify things. We try to decomplexify, and I think as leaders today, we have to be able to embrace complexity. We have to be able to look at all the pieces and all the parts and sort of hold them in suspended animation, if you will. And I think that's, in today's world, a good leader is one who can hold all of that complexity, embrace it, look for simple solutions, or look for simplicity in the complexity. So I think that's the second thing. And the third thing I thought is the secret to leadership everywhere in the world is engagement. It's engagement. If you engage people in conversation, if you listen, if you ask the right questions, if you pick their brains, help them search, help them discover, people always feel good about the interaction with you. Right, and so that's, so I thought about advice. Those would be my three things. Never be the smartest person in the room. Right, embrace complexity, because that's really the way the world. There are no systems that are not complex. Right, and so one has to have a systemic point of view. One has to be able to embrace that and hold it. And then the third is, if you engage people in conversation, in dialogue, in exploration, in dreaming, then leadership is really easy. It's not quite so hard as people think it might be.
Well, thank you for your answers. Honoring the complexity of the world and all the emails and messages people are getting whilst they're listening to this video interview. I could engage quite easily in any of those topics, particularly the systemic point of view when it comes to leadership. But I think I'm just going to leave people with your words and your wisdom. And thank you so much for your time and your insights and all the knowledge and wisdom you've brought and bring still to the world. So thank you, Paul, for the interview.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to do it, and I enjoyed it. I look forward to talking some more.
Check out our webpage where you can sign up for free worksheets to enhance on your leadership skills and improve team dynamics. Get in touch for a free consultation.